What if I told you that money isn't the enemy, but your lack of understanding about it is? Millions of people wake up every day chasing paychecks, paying bills, and wondering why freedom feels impossible. The truth is simple. Money obeys those who learn its rules, and punishes those who ignore them. This story will teach you how to make money serve your life, before it's too late. Money is not the destination, it's the vehicle. The goal is not to look rich, but to live free. Real wealth is measured not by possessions, but by peace of mind, control of time, and the ability to choose how you live. Most people chase money like it's oxygen, working endless hours, buying things they don't need, to impress people who don't care. They confuse income with intelligence and appearance with achievement. The result? They end up trapped, tired, anxious, and dependent on the next paycheck. Rich people see money differently. They don't worship it, they use it. They understand that money is a servant, not a master. When you control your money, it gives you freedom. When money controls you, it gives you fear. As Robert Kiyosaki said, "Don't work for money. Let money work for you." That one sentence changes everything. Because once you realize money can work harder than you ever could, you stop chasing and start building. Lesson 1. You don't need to be rich to learn about money. The greatest lie people believe is, "I'll learn about money when I have more of it." But that moment never comes. Financial education doesn't start when you're rich, it's what makes you rich. When you're broke, you're in the best position to learn. You have humility, hunger, and the freedom to make small mistakes that teach big lessons. Start simple. Track your expenses. Learn where your money goes. Build a small savings habit. Invest in your knowledge before you invest in the market. You don't need thousands to begin, you need awareness and consistency. Because the habits that build $100 will one day build $100,000. The truth is, you don't rise to wealth, you grow into it. Lesson 2. Time beats money. Most people waste their most powerful asset, time. They trade it for small paychecks instead of using it to build lasting wealth. Money is renewable. Time is not. The wealthy understand this, which is why they use the power of compound growth, where money earns money, and time multiplies it. $1 invested wisely today can become hundreds over years, not because of luck, but because of patience. You can start small, an emergency fund, a basic investment account, or even learning about financial literacy. What matters most isn't how much you start with, but when you start. Because while money can grow, time cannot. You can't buy time back, but you can make time pay you back. So start now. Learn now. Invest in your knowledge, your habits, and your discipline. The future doesn't reward those who earn the most, it rewards those who learn the earliest. If you don't control your money, it will control you. That's not just a warning, it's a truth that quietly shapes millions of lives. Most people think they have an income problem, but they really have a spending problem. They earn more, buy more, owe more, and end up living from paycheck to paycheck, constantly stressed, constantly stuck. Real financial freedom doesn't come from earning a fortune, it comes from managing the one you already have. Rule 1. Budgeting is not punishment, it's power. Many people hear the word budget and think of restriction, sacrifice, or deprivation. But a budget isn't about limiting your life, it's about designing it. When you tell your money where to go, you stop wondering where it went. Every dollar you earn should have a job, to spend, to save, or to invest. If your money doesn't have a purpose, it will disappear into habits you barely notice. Coffees, subscriptions, small pleasures that steal your financial peace. A budget isn't a cage, it's a map. It doesn't trap you, it guides you. It's the bridge between your goals and your reality. The moment you create a plan for your money, you regain control of your life. Rule 2. Avoid the illusion of wealth. We live in a world obsessed with appearances. People rent lifestyles they can't afford to impress people they don't know. A luxury car, an expensive phone, designer clothes, they might look like signs of success, but more often, they're symbols of stress. Debt is not wealth. And the people who truly have money rarely flaunt it. True wealth is invisible. It lives quietly in investments, savings accounts, real estate, and peace of mind. It's not about looking rich. It's about being rich, in freedom, security, and time. Don't measure success by what you own. Measure it by what you can afford to walk away from. Rule 3. Spend less than you earn. Always. This is the oldest financial rule in history, and yet, the one most ignored. Wealth is not built by luck, inheritance, or intelligence. It's built by discipline. If you can't save $10 out of $100, you'll never save $1,000 out of $10,000. Every dollar you save is a soldier, and one day, your army of savings will fight for your freedom. Start with 10%. Save it before you spend anything else. Call it your freedom fund. That fund will grow, and one day, it will protect you from emergencies, job loss, or unexpected turns in life. It's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep. Rule 4. Wealth grows from habits, not from luck. Financial mastery doesn't happen overnight, it happens daily. It's the small, smart decisions repeated over time that build the foundation for big change. Track your expenses weekly. Cut out what doesn't add value. Pay off debts aggressively. Invest early, even if it's a small amount. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be consistent. Discipline turns chaos into clarity. Clarity turns effort into results. And results, no matter how small, build confidence. Every time you choose to save instead of spend, you're not just keeping money, you're training your mind. Because money management isn't about math, it's about mindset. In the end, the greatest financial power you can develop is control. Control over your spending, your emotions, your impulses, and your habits. When you learn to master money, you stop chasing survival and start creating freedom. So remember, don't let money be your master. Make it your student, and teach it to work for you. Because wealth isn't built by the lucky. It's built by the disciplined. You can't work forever, but your money can. That's the secret most people never learn. We're taught to trade time for money, to work 8 hours, get paid, and repeat. But time is limited. Money, however, can grow endlessly if you teach it how. The goal of true wealth is not to work harder, it's to make your money work harder for you. 1. The power of passive income. Passive income means earning even when you're not actively working. It's money that flows while you sleep, travel, or rest. Imagine having a system, a rental property, a stock portfolio, a small online business, that sends you money automatically every month. Each one is like a tiny employee, working 24/7 without breaks, without complaints. Active income, your job, feeds you today. Passive income feeds you for life. Start small. Invest a small portion of your income into something that grows. Learn how dividends, royalties, or interest work. Use technology, digital products, online courses, or automated businesses to scale your time. Rich Dad's rule applies perfectly here. Don't work for money. Let money work for you. Your goal is not just to earn money, it's to build systems that earn money for you. To the truth about debt, friend or enemy. Debt is not evil. Ignorance about debt is. There are 2 kinds of debt. Bad debt and good debt. Bad debt buys comfort, gadgets, clothes, cars, vacations, things that lose value. It feels good for a moment, but it costs you freedom later. You pay interest for years on something that no longer matters. Good debt buys growth, education, business tools, real estate, investments, things that bring money back into your pocket. It multiplies over time and strengthens your future. For example, a new phone is bad debt. A camera for your photography business is good debt. A car for showing off is bad debt. A car for delivery work or Uber is good debt. The rule is simple. If it makes you money, it's good. If it only takes your money, it's bad. Debt, when mastered, becomes leverage, a way to accelerate your progress. But when it controls you, it becomes a chain. 3. Build quietly, grow silently. In the age of social media, People chase the image of wealth instead of the reality of it. They buy things to show off success instead of building success. They want applause, not assets. But real wealth doesn't shout, it whispers. It's not found in what people see, but in what they don't see. A strong portfolio. Multiple income streams. Freedom from financial anxiety. Don't tell people your plans. Build in silence. Let your success announce itself through your lifestyle, your peace, and your freedom. When your money starts working for you, you won't need validation. Your results will speak for themselves. For the rule of independence, never rely on one income. Relying on a single paycheck is financial risk disguised as safety. If one job pays your bills, one mistake, one illness, or one layoff can destroy your stability overnight. The wealthy understand diversification. They build multiple streams of income. One from their main job. One from side hustles or freelancing. One from investments or rental income. One from creative work, like writing, teaching, or online products. Even if each source is small, together they create security, and security breeds freedom. Freedom isn't about quitting work. It's about having the choice to work, because you want to, not because you have to. 5. The formula for financial growth. Earn actively. Use your job to generate capital. Save strategically. Keep a portion for investment, not for spending. Invest wisely. Let your money grow through assets, not liabilities. Diversify income. Build multiple streams to reduce dependency. Repeat patiently. Compounding works best with time and consistency. Wealth is not a miracle, it's a method. If you treat money as a servant, it will obey. If you treat it as your master, it will rule your life. So build your systems, control your debt, and let your money work for you. Because in the end, financial freedom isn't about owning more, it's about owning your time. Money is the most commonly used tool on earth, yet it's the least understood. We study math, history, and grammar for years, but almost no one is formally taught how money actually works. Schools teach you how to earn a living, not how to build wealth. That's why financial education isn't just useful, it's essential. Because money doesn't respond to luck, talent, or effort alone. It responds to understanding. If you don't learn the rules of money, you'll spend your life working for those who already have. 1. Learn the language of money. Money is a language, and like any language, those who speak it fluently have an advantage. Learning about finance isn't about greed. It's about freedom. It's about understanding how to make decisions that protect your future. Spend just 30 minutes a day reading, watching, or listening to something that teaches you about budgeting and saving, investing and compounding, taxes and how they work, cash flow and financial systems. At first, these topics may sound boring or confusing, but so did English when you were a child. Over time, they'll become natural. Knowledge multiplies money. Each new concept you learn, compound interest, inflation, risk management, diversification, becomes another tool in your financial toolbox. Just like learning a new word expands your vocabulary, learning a new financial principle expands your wealth potential. Because every financial mistake is simply the result of something you didn't know yet. 2. Financial knowledge creates confidence. Ignorance creates fear. Fear creates inaction. Inaction creates poverty. The reason many people never invest or start a business is not because they're lazy, it's because they don't understand enough to feel safe. When you understand how money moves, that fear disappears. You start seeing opportunities instead of risks. You stop saying, "I can't afford it," and start asking, "How can I afford it?" The shift from fear to curiosity changes everything. Remember, financial knowledge doesn't just grow your money, it grows your options. It gives you the confidence to make choices based on vision, not survival. 3. Beliefs, the hidden engine of wealth. Knowledge is power, but belief is the fuel that activates it. Your beliefs about money silently guide your behavior, often without you realizing it. If you believe that money is evil, you'll push it away. If you believe that rich people are greedy, you'll avoid becoming one. If you believe that I'm not the type to be wealthy, you'll make choices that keep you poor. These thoughts become invisible walls between you and success. But here's the truth. Money doesn't change who you are, it reveals who you are. It's neither good nor bad. It's neutral, a magnifier of your intentions. When good people make money, they do good things with it. They create jobs, help others, and change lives. You must give yourself permission to build wealth. Say it aloud. I deserve financial freedom. Money is a tool for good. I can learn, grow, and build wealth ethically. Your mindset is the foundation of your finances. Without the right belief system, even the best strategy will fail. 4. The power of self-education. The world's most successful people, entrepreneurs, investors, and leaders, share one secret. They never stop learning. They study markets, trends, and human behavior. They read books, attend seminars, and surround themselves with mentors who challenge their thinking. You don't need a finance degree to understand money. You just need curiosity and consistency. Read one chapter of a finance book each day. Watch one documentary about economics per week. Listen to podcasts that teach you how money moves. Over time, your brain will begin to recognize patterns, how opportunities form, how risk works, how wealth grows. And soon, you'll start thinking like an investor, not a consumer. 5. The law of internal wealth. Before you can manage external wealth, you must master internal wealth, clarity, patience, and emotional control. Because the moment you panic, you lose money. The moment you chase trends, you lose focus. The moment you doubt yourself, you lose opportunity. The wealthiest people are not just financially educated, they're emotionally intelligent. They don't let greed drive them or fear paralyze them. They act on logic, not emotion. So, learn about money, but also learn about yourself. Because your financial future will never grow bigger than your mindset. Final message. Financial knowledge is the invisible currency that builds real wealth. It costs nothing to start learning, but costs everything to ignore. Once you change what you know and what you believe, your entire financial destiny begins to change with it. Money has its own language, and silence is one of its greatest teachers. In a world obsessed with showing off, the real power lies in building quietly. You don't need to post every success, announce every purchase, or share every plan. Because the moment you chase attention, you start losing focus. The loud spend to impress. The wise build to sustain. True wealth doesn't need validation. It doesn't scream, it whispers. 1. The myth of looking rich. Today, social media makes it easy to look successful without actually being successful. People post luxury trips, new cars, and expensive meals, but behind the scenes, many are drowning in debt. They buy things they don't need, with money they don't have, to impress people who don't care. This is the trap of show money, a false sense of achievement built on appearances. But here's the truth, appearance fades, assets last. The richest people you'll ever meet are often the quietest. They drive simple cars, wear ordinary clothes, and live below their means. Not because they're stingy, but because they understand that money is freedom, not decoration. They measure wealth not by what they spend, but by how long they can live without working. 2. Build in silence, grow in peace. When you work in silence, you remove distraction. You don't waste energy proving, you use it improving. Quiet builders are powerful because they let results speak. They don't rush to show progress, they wait until it's real. Think of money as a tree. If you dig it up every week to show everyone how it's growing, it will die. But if you nurture it quietly, water it, feed it, and give it time, it will grow tall enough to provide shade for generations. Wealth works the same way. It grows best when protected from noise, comparison, and ego. 3. The rhythm of real wealth. Money is not a race, it's a rhythm. Some months, you'll save a lot. Some months, you'll barely get by. But the secret is to keep moving, to stay consistent no matter how small the progress seems. Wealth is built not in one big leap, but in 1,000 small steps. The quiet investor understands this. They don't panic when the market drops or celebrate too loudly when it rises. They play the long game, knowing that time, not timing, creates fortune. Because money rewards patience, not panic. If you save, invest, and repeat long enough, your future self will thank your present discipline. 4. Comparison is the thief of progress. One of the most dangerous habits in personal finance is comparison. When you measure your journey against others, you lose sight of your own path. Most people you envy are not as successful as they seem. They may look like they're ahead, but many are just pretending. Don't waste your energy trying to match someone else's lifestyle. Use that energy to build your own. Everyone's timeline is different. What matters is not how fast you get there, but how strong your foundation is when you do. The wealth that lasts a lifetime is never rushed. 5. The long game of financial freedom. The real secret to wealth isn't luck, inheritance, or even high income, it's consistency. Quiet consistency beats loud intensity every time. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to keep going. Build, save, invest, repeat, that's the rhythm. And as you do, remember this, wealth is not a moment, it's a mindset. It's not something you flaunt, it's something you protect. The silent investor doesn't chase trends or attention. They build systems, nurture habits, and trust the process. Because money doesn't grow from noise. It grows from patience, strategy, and time. Final message. Stay low. Build slow. Move smart. You don't need applause to grow rich, you need focus. You don't need validation, you need vision. Money is a mirror. It reflects your discipline, not your display. So, protect your progress, invest in silence, and let your future speak for itself. Because the loud spend to impress, but the quiet build to last. Money doesn't change who you are, it reveals who you've always been. If you're careless with $100, you'll be reckless with $10,000. If you panic when you lose a small amount, you'll collapse when the stakes are higher. If you're generous when you have little, you'll be generous when you have plenty. Money is a magnifier, not a miracle. It doesn't fix your character, it exposes it. That's why financial education isn't just about earning, it's about evolving. You're not learning how to chase money, you're learning how to handle it with clarity, purpose, and confidence. 1. Money as freedom, not greed. Many people grow up believing that money is evil, that wanting more is selfish. But that belief keeps them trapped, not humble, just limited. Money itself is neutral. It doesn't make you greedy or kind, it simply amplifies what's already inside you. In the hands of a selfish person, money builds walls. In the hands of a generous person, money builds schools. Learning about money is not about chasing luxury, it's about creating options. When you manage your money wisely, you buy yourself time, the most valuable currency of all. Time to rest. Time to think. Time to create. Time to spend with the people you love, instead of working endlessly to survive. That's real freedom, not the size of your bank account, but the size of your choices. 2. The price of waiting. The earlier you start learning about money, the easier it becomes. The later you wait, the more expensive the lesson. Every year you delay investing or saving, you're losing something more powerful than money, compound time. One small decision today, saving a little, investing a little, learning a little, can multiply into something massive years later. But waiting for the perfect moment is like waiting for a train that already left the station. Start small. Start imperfect. But start now. Because time, like money, doesn't wait for anyone. You can rebuild wealth, but you can't rebuild wasted years. 3. What money reflects about you. Money reflects your discipline. If you can manage your emotions, you can manage your finances. It reflects your values. Where your money goes, your priorities follow. It reflects your vision. The person who spends on impulse is trapped in the present. The person who invests is building for the future. Your financial life is a mirror of your mindset. Change your thinking, and the reflection changes too. 4. Start before it's too late. Here's the truth few are willing to face. Money doesn't disappear because it's unfair. It disappears because people never learn how to make it grow. We study history, math, and language, but not money, the thing we use every single day. That's why most people work for decades and still struggle, not because they're lazy, but because they were never taught the rules of the game. Don't be one of them. Learn now, not later. Read one book on finance. Watch one video. Track your expenses. Start one small investment. Every action you take builds financial awareness, and awareness is the foundation of wealth. 5. Final message: the reflection you leave behind. At the end of the day, money isn't the goal, it's the tool. A tool for freedom, for creation, for contribution. When you master money, you gain more than financial stability. You gain control over your destiny. Because one day, you'll look back and realize that the most expensive thing in life is not the house you never bought, or the car you couldn't afford. It's the time you lost not learning how money works. So start now. Learn, apply, grow, and become the kind of person who uses money wisely, not fearfully. Money is not the goal, it's the mirror. Learn how to use it before it's too late. Your future self is depending on you.